Welcome, folks. It's like we've got the Team K Realty newsroom. Look at this. I love it.
Reporting to you live from Corvallis.
So fall's rolling in. We wanted to give you guys a quick market update. So if you haven't met our new team member, Chance Olafson, Chance, what we'll do is we'll start off with you giving us just a quick overview about the general vibe of the market. And then, Noelle, you want to dive into some actual stats for all of our spreadsheet people, right?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. So, Chance, why don't you kick us off then and just talk to us a little bit about what the market really feels like from a 30,000-foot view, this whole buyers versus sellers market and what the nuance is there.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we are in a seller's market. The difference between a seller's and buyer's market is it becomes a buyer's market when you have 6 months or more of inventory typically. So right now we have about 2 months of inventory, but we're also seeing buyers are having a little bit more negotiating leverage as well. So it's a weird market, but we are in a seller's market right now.
Seems like a really good summary.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's a key thing there. You said buyers actually have a little bit of leverage, right? It's not as insanely competitive as it was a few years ago, but don't mistake that for it being a buyer's market.
Exactly.
Agreed.
Okay. And Noelle, you work with a lot of our buyers. Of course, you've been on the team for years. We have a lot of engineers that are just as spreadsheet focused as some of us are. Do you want to dive into some of the real in-depth stats there?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start off with Corvallis specifically. So the median sales price is holding steady between $540K to $600K, and it's been consistently staying between there for the past few months. We have noticed that our days on market have been increasing to about 60 days, and maybe increase a little bit more too because we're getting into our fall season, so we don't have as many buyers. However, that doesn't mean, hey, just sit on this listing and wait. If you see something, you should get on it, because anything that is like absolutely perfection on the market, comes on the market, it gets bought very quickly.
Sure.
Over in Albany, we've been seeing just a trend of about 440 to 490K, which seems a little bit lower than average, but I think it's just the market that's been selling there. Typically, the average that we have been seeing is roughly like 490K on the higher end, so 500. And then that's just been something that we've noticed, and seeing that trend, it's still going up or staying steady in the Albany markets. There's some sub-markets where that changes. North Albany, we've been seeing more of a price increase overall, but not drastically so. In North Albany specifically. Okay. They are also experiencing about 65 days worth of being on the market, so don't be surprised by that. And again, just very similar to Corvallis, I wouldn't be surprised if that continues to be longer depending on how rates change as well. Now going over to Philomath, we have also been seeing, again, this 60 days on market as well. Median prices are very similar in terms of Corvallis. They're about 550K is what we've been seeing. Going into the next part of the season, we are expecting longer days on the market, depending on how rates change.
And we've been feeling that with some of our Team K listings as well, right?
Yes.
It seems like a lot of our Corvallis listings, they move, but the Philomath and the Albany ones, they've been taking a little bit longer. Yeah.
As we're going into fall and winter, we usually see a decrease in buyer activity. There are still buyers year-round looking, but they're not usually as motivated to get things done right now. However, we have noticed time and time again, if rates drop, there's a surge of activity. There has been some talk from the feds of lowering interest rates. That's something that they have on the mind. We may see some small surges here and there, depending on how rates go, but for now, it's just keep the steady course. We have seen overall in all markets, we're seeing price reductions, and there's a variety of reasons why that may be happening. A lot of it is they're still looking at 6 months ago or even last year's sales, looking and predicting this continued trend. And realistically, they've noticed like we're overshooting or over marketing in terms of the price point. So that's why we're seeing a lot of days longer on market and these price reductions, even though the statistics say everything's staying about the same in terms of the median. It's not increasing except for Corvallis, and even then it's only a little bit.
So there's a pitfall there. Another way to look at this is that if you're a buyer on the sidelines just looking at real estate websites and not actually actively working with true local professionals, you might be seeing price reductions and thinking that means that the market is declining and that values are dropping. But all that means is that there are stale donuts that were sitting on the shelf because people had overpriced their homes, still thinking that it was July of 2021. The values can be going up in real time, even if people are overpricing and having to lower the price to sell. So two things can be true at once, as we've talked about in other forums that we've done.
We hope that helps. And if you have any further questions, like if you're thinking of buying and selling and want to talk more, please reach out to us.
Yes, especially now that on the team we've got all three of us. It's no longer a dynamic duo, it's a terrific trio. Sure, we'll workshop that, yeah. But we're looking forward to helping you cross the finish line, so reach out before you think you need us so that we can make you informed consumers ready to navigate whatever the market conditions are that you find yourselves in. Reach out, we'll talk to you soon.
Bye for now.